What's up YouTube? It's Reed with RCG Car Reviews here, and today you find me at home yet again. Today I have a very dirty Mustang behind me. This is my 2007 Mustang GT, and I figured I might as well make a video on how I wash my car. I know that's kind of an up-and-coming thing, so I figured I would go ahead and jump on the bandwagon. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what all I use and get her cleaned up. So when I said the car was dirty, I really wasn't kidding. You can see, and I've even already knocked some of the dirt off with some water here, but you can just see how much road grime and crap is all over the car. So it's really, really dirty right now. The wheels pretty much don't have a shine to them hardly at all. The front wheels are covered in brake dust. Just a really dirty car. And I've actually already started on the front end a little bit. The idea to make this video didn't hit me until I was already like halfway done with the front end. So we'll just make do with what we have left here, which is plenty. But taking a look at my setup, I have my 2-bucket method here. This is my rinse bucket, this is my soap bucket. As far as the soap that I use a Meguiar's Ultimate Wash and Wax Hydrophobic Polymer Technology. It's just a standard car wash solution, nothing real fancy at all. I just put kind of like a small pancake or waffle sized amount down in the bottom of this bucket, fill it up with water, and of course make sure the rinse bucket is completely free of dirt and grit whenever you fill it up. I actually kind of leave the hose in there and just let it overflow for a little bit just to wash any impurities that are in the bucket out. Of course, these buckets are not perfect. This one is, I don't even know how old. It's been around, I think, ever since I've been alive, and I'm 21 years old, so that ought to give you a little indication. The sponge that I'm using is just some no frills sponge right here. Nothing fancy at all. It's got 2 microfiber sides to it, and then you have a scrubbing side. I try to keep the scrubbing side off of the paint as much as I possibly can, and then I do use this little microfiber sponge right here on the wheels just to make sure I'm not scratching up the clear coat on those or the coat of wax that I put on them a couple weeks ago. I did do a full detail on this car 2 weeks ago, going on 3 weeks I think, and I did a clay bar, or a wash, a clay bar, and then a wax. So you can see the paint is actually beating up pretty well, and it's got a really nice shine to it. So it's definitely in pretty good shape right now. It's just the sides and the wheels and stuff are really, really dirty. So I don't know if you would consider this a maintenance wash or what. One thing I also did is I repainted the wiper arms. They are not perfect, but they are no longer like peeling paint. So in my opinion, that's better than what it was. So we'll go ahead and set up the camera, and we'll try and get some how Reed washes his car in here. So I usually start off with the front of the car. I mean, y'all can argue with me if you want to. I'm sure you're technically probably supposed to start at the roof and then work your way all the way down. That way you're not like transferring grime into the buckets and stuff. But I mean, this is my daily driver. The paint is nowhere near perfect. If you look close enough, the front end is full of rock chips. Just in this little area alone, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and about to be 9 areas that are gonna have touch-up paint on them. So it's not a perfect car. Of course, I've got the dent in the side over there from where somebody sideswiped me at school last semester. So I'm not uber worried about making sure this thing is like pristine show quality, because it's not that type of car. At least not at this point anyway. So I start off with the front end. Of course, I kind of spray the whole car down before I start, just knock any loose dirt off that I won't be grinding into the paint. And then just start, usually the first swipe I make is along the hood brim here with the microfiber sponge. And that just kind of takes the bugs and dirt off the front. And then I work my way from driver's side around to the passenger side, just top to bottom. So I've already done to about like the midline of the license plate, and I've done to the midline of the grill and stuff. So I'll go ahead and stick the camera up here, and we'll get the rest of the front cleaned up. Alright, so we've got the front end of the car finished up. One thing I did want to point out is you can see I have there the Plastidip down on the bottom of the bumper. So whenever you're using a microfiber towel or sponge or anything like that, you have to be really careful because microfiber loves to peel up Plastidip. So just keep that in mind. Next thing I'll do is I'll move up to the hood and then go over the windshield and across the roof and towards the back and do the rear deck lid. So let's go ahead and get that cleaned up. Alright, so the hood on the car is cleaned up, and so is the windshield and the wipers and all that. But I just wanted to say, I'm not trying to be like super anal or super making sure this car is as protected as it can possibly be. I'm not that obsessed with my car. Of course, I love to have a clean car, a car that looks clean and looks good, but I don't have the hours to spend detailing a car like some of the other YouTubers like Matt Mormon from Obsessed Garage or anything like that. I just don't have the time. I don't have the money to afford all that stuff right now. Full-time college is just kind of eating me up. But of course, I mean, I like to have a clean car, so I just figured I would kind of share how I do that with you. One of these days, I do want to try like out the Adams or Chemical Guys products or something like that, just to kind of compare to what I do. Honestly, every time I wash this car, I'm not like, dang, I wish this thing was cleaner. It's not clean enough. I see a little swirl mark right there. Like, I'm not that particular with my car. One of these days, I want to have the dent pulled out of it, and I want to have it wrapped a certain color. So I don't see the point in protecting 10-year-old paint that's already kind of, or like overprotecting 10-year-old paint that's already kind of crap anyway. So we'll go ahead and do the roof and get on towards the side of the car and stuff like that. Okay, so I figured I'd check back in. We've got the driver's side of the car, just the painted surface, completely clean. I haven't done the wheels. Wheels come last. I always do the wheels last just because they're the dirtiest part of the car. But one thing I did want to touch on is having a white car is extremely frustrating sometimes. These are so hard to keep clean. As many of you know, my first car was a maroon Z71 Tahoe, and that car hid dirt extraordinarily well. You really couldn't make much difference when it was dirty or clean, which probably explains why I didn't clean it that much, but the Fusion was pearl white, and it definitely hid dust and dirt a little bit better than just a flat performance white on this car. And this car shows dirt like none other. Pretty much as soon as you drive it after you wash it, if you're OCD like I am, it just makes you want to get a spray bottle and wipe it down again, which is usually what ends up happening, which is really frustrating. I wish I didn't do that. But just to kind of give you an example of what I mean here, take a look at this right here. So the quarter panel is clean, and I don't know how well the camera is going to pick this up, but the quarter panel is clean and the back is not. So major color difference. I mean, this is like dingy, grungy brown, nasty, and then this is nice, clean, flat white paint, and the water actually beat it up really well after I finished washing it and rinsed it. So that tells me that I probably didn't do too much damage to the coat of wax that I put on the car. And for those of you who are wondering, I just use Meguiar's Gold Class Carnauba wax. It's just a liquid paste wax that you put on with a sponge applicator and then buff it off with some terry cloths. So that's how I wax my car. I may do a video on that at some point, I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the back and the passenger side of the car cleaned up, and whenever I get around to the wheels, I will check back in. Alright, so all of the painted surfaces on the car are clean. Anything that just has the white paint on it that I would spend time waxing or clay barring or anything like that is clean. So the only thing left to do is the wheels. And what I do with the wheels is I have this little sponge right here. This is just a really old microfiber car washing sponge. I don't like using anything super abrasive on the wheels because for some reason the clear coat on Ford wheels of this generation just really don't hold up. So I like to use something kind of soft, but yet that still has something that's gonna create a friction barrier and lift all the impurities out. So I'm just going to wet this with the regular soap and water and just do the best I can to get the wheels clean. If the wheels don't come completely clean, then I do have some pretty powerful cleaning compound. I think it's like Magic Purple or something. I don't know what it's called. But we'll see how it does, the wheels and tires do with just the wash. But if I need to get that stuff out to make sure the tires are super black, then I will. So let's go ahead and get started cleaning the wheels. Okay, so pretty much where I'm at is both the wheels on the driver's side of the car are clean. There's really no sense in making you watch me clean the two on the passenger side. It's just a really frustrating process. That's one area where I am super picky, is my wheels. I love the shine that these wheels have. They're the 18-inch California Special wheels, and I really like the polished finish on them. You can tell already that there's a huge difference. You can also probably tell that it looks like it's about to pour down rain, which would be my luck. I actually just looked at the radar and there is some fairly close, so yay. But whenever I get around to drying the car off, I will give you guys one last update and kind of a conclusion. So thank you for hanging in there and hope you continue to enjoy. Okay, so the car is totally clean. All of the surfaces, wheels, paint, tires, all that stuff are clean. Now all that is left to do is dry it. As you can tell, the wheels look much better. That one for some reason looks a little dull for some, I don't know why, but it doesn't quite have the shine that they usually do. I'll try and work on it with a microfiber drying towel in a little while after I finish drying the car and see if I can get some more shine out of it. But you can see the ones on this side are really nice and shiny and clean. I did not have to get that super powered cleaner out. The tires did do, or they came back a nice matte black. I used to be really into having the tires like grease wet shiny, but the more I've had to deal with tire shine, the less I like it. It's just it's messy. And it gets all over the paint, it slings everywhere, and I'm not a huge fan of that, so I just kind of am satisfied with the matte black look now. But before we move the car around and kind of get some of the water off of it, I wanted to dump out the water and show you how much of a difference the 2-bucket method makes. So of course this is the soapy water, and it's not the cleanest water. I mean, it's certainly not super clean by any means. But here is the dirty water. And so you can tell that that water is much darker, much dirtier. So the 2-bucket method actually does help, because if you were using 1 bucket like I used to do, and look at all that in the bottom of the bucket, you can just see grime down there. This is actually my second time doing the 2-bucket method on this car, and I won't do it any other way anymore. I used to do 1 bucket, and basically what you're doing is all of that stuff that I just dumped out and is running down the driveway and is sitting in the bottom of this bucket, you would just be soaking it back up in your sponge and grinding all that into the paint, and you really don't want to do that. Not a good idea. Like I said, I'm not obsessed garage or anything like that, but I do like my car to look good. I like to take care of it, keep it as clean as I can. So basically all I have left to do is dry the car, and I just use a microfiber towel for that. A series of microfiber towels actually. I don't, of course one won't do it. And then on the inside, all I'm going to do is just use a damp microfiber, wipe out the interior, just kind of get the dust off of everything, run the vacuum through it, and then that really should be it. So I'll go ahead and close this video off here. If there's any questions you have about the car, any more videos you want to see on the car, or anything like that, feel free to let me know, and I'll do my best to get those taken care of. I'm not even going to bother under the hood. I tried hitting it with some detail spray and a microfiber a while back, and I mean, it helped, but it's certainly not a huge difference. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. If you like this style of video, Let me know, drop it in the comments box below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Take care.